guys, welcome back to Jersey Fam. Today we are gonna make Ohana bread pudding. Now if you've never been to Ohana, Ohana is a restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the Polynesian resort at Disney World. This is a dessert that comes out after dinner time, or you can actually order it from the bar and get it while you sit in the lobby, which is pretty cool. This is one of my favorites, so I decided that I would share it with you guys. I've seen a couple other recipes for this on YouTube, but none were this recipe. This is actually the recipe out of Delicious Disney. So I figured I would use that. We're gonna use challah bread today instead of Ohana bread because not everybody has Ohana bread sitting in their pantry. So I'm gonna start. First you need 5 eggs. I just need to crack one more. I'm gonna take 5 eggs and put this in a large bowl just because you're gonna add the bread to it. Next, we are gonna add our sugar. We have 1.5 cups of sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna put that in there. Then we're gonna put our milk. This is 3 cups of whole milk. That's what you need. Add that. This is really easy. It's just kind of like a throw it all together type thing, and it's so good. I don't know if you've ever had it. The sauce on top is what makes it. We're gonna make that. Then we're gonna do our cinnamon and our nutmeg. This is, okay, the recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons, but I really like cinnamon, so this is more like 2 teaspoons. And then it's how much? 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Let's put this to the side. Whisk it up. Sometimes it's hard to get that cinnamon in there, but if you just keep going, it'll mix in eventually. Just scrape the sides a little bit with the whisk. Make sure you get those eggs broken up. See how the yolks are so whole? You want to break those up. That's definitely something you need to do. So if you need to smash them on the side, that works. Next, we're gonna take the bread actually and put the bread in. You can find this at any grocery store. They even sell it at Trader Joe's. I don't know if anybody knows what Trader Joe's is, but it comes in a big loaf like this, and you just need 1 whole loaf. Okay, and we're gonna take it and just tear it into chunks. Don't make the chunks too big, but don't make them too small either, because if you make them too small, then it'll all be mushy. You want them like a good 2 inches. And you're gonna put the whole thing in here. I think it says it's enough to fill 10 cups, but really 1 loaf of anything will be fine. Push it down a little bit. And this isn't really time consuming. That's why I like this recipe, is when you have kids, you need something fast. This is a really, really good dessert. You could probably even eat it as breakfast. I like to eat it cold out of the fridge. It's a really good snack. So once we have all that in, we're gonna add in our pineapple and our coconut. Now, if you've ever eaten the bread at Ohana, you know that in the bread there's pineapple and coconut. This is supposed to be sweetened coconut, but we don't have any, and I don't really miss the sweetened coconut, so you can use sweetened or unsweetened, and it's shredded. So that's what you're gonna need, shredded coconut. Okay, you need a 1/4 cup. This is actually a 1/2 cup because I really like coconut, so I just add more. You can add however much you want. Then I believe that this is a 1/2 cup. Yes, this is a 1/2 cup of crushed pineapple. You can find it in the can. It just looks like this. And 100% pineapple juice is the one I like to buy. So we're just gonna add that in. And then we're gonna mix it around. Just try to get it all in there. I think I'm gonna get a spatula. I just wanna make sure it's all the bread gets wet. That's what we really want. And it already smells like the Polynesian, which is my favorite resort, by the way. Leave it in the comments if you've ever eaten the Ohana bread pudding at Ohana. Okay, now that that is all wet, we're gonna get a pan and put bacon in. You can use any large pan, it doesn't matter, as long as you're gonna butter it. So you just take a couple tablespoons of butter and roll it around. That's just so it doesn't get too brown on the sides or on the bottom when you're baking it. I actually didn't even need that one. And you can like totally use a paper towel if you're not like an animal like me and just use my hands. Okay, now we're gonna pour it in there. I can't wait to see what this is gonna look like. You're gonna preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Okay. It's all in there, nicely incorporated. You see all the coconut. You can just go in and flatten it out. And it kind of looks a little bit mushy right now, but that's how it's gonna look when you have everything said and done. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this into an oven for about an hour. Some people like 40 minutes. It's just up to you what you prefer. So 45 minutes to an hour, you can check it. Sometimes when you use something that's really deep like this, you really need the full hour. But if you're using something more shallow to cook, I would do 45 minutes just so it doesn't get overcooked. You still want it to be soft inside. It's gonna look a little bit underdone, but you don't want it like liquidy, because then then the eggs are not cooked. So we're gonna pop this in the oven for an hour. This is what it's gonna look like when it comes out. It's gonna be nice and puffy and brown on top. That's how you know it's done. It's just a little bit squish. It doesn't like, you know, sink in when you push in it. So now we're gonna make the sauce to go on top of our Ohana bread pudding. Basically what we need is we need 1 cup of dark brown sugar. I recommend using dark brown sugar just because the flavor is better. We're gonna add that to a pan. Then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of corn syrup. Scoop it out. It's kind of sticky. And I'm gonna put the recipe to this in the description section, just so that way everybody can have easy access to it. Now we're gonna add the butter. It calls for 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick. And you could just put it in there like this because it's gonna melt when you put it on the heat. And then you have 1 cup of heavy cream here. You're only gonna put half. I'm gonna bring this to the stove and I'm gonna let it boil. You're supposed to let it boil, put it on high heat and let it come to a rolling boil and let it simmer for 10 minutes while it's on the stove. I'm just gonna mix it around until everything is nice and incorporated, and then I'm gonna let it come to a boil. Just let all that butter melt into the sauce. Now we're gonna peel and slice 3 bananas. This part with the sauce is optional. You don't have to do the sauce, but I really enjoy the bananas Foster sauce on top. We're actually gonna flambe this, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we don't burn down the house. Also, let us know in the comments if you've ever tried the bread pudding. If you want to try the bread pudding, if you're going to Disney, tell us what your countdown is. We always enjoy hearing about people's Disney vacations. Finished. Okay, now I hear this bubbling away over here. We're gonna let it bubble. It's kind of where you want to keep it. It's gonna turn almost into like a candy-like substance. You're gonna leave it for 10 minutes. Keep an eye on it though, because sometimes, you know, ovens and stoves vary with how much heat is on the pan. Okay, when your caramel looks like this, see how it's kind of all moving around the pan and it's kind of stringy? You're gonna add the other half of your caramel and whisk it up. Okay, we're just gonna let that boil for just a minute. Looks so good. Now we're gonna take some rum. I recommend using dark rum for this because we're gonna flambe it. And we're gonna add a half a cup. I know it seems like a lot, but it's going to burn off. Woo. It's a lot. Okay. And we're gonna quickly add our teaspoon of vanilla. Mix it up. And now, let's hope we don't set the house on fire. Let's see if we can get it. Woo! And you're gonna let that go until the flame goes out. Okay, it's just gonna boil all that alcohol off. We're flambeing, look at that. That's pretty cool. Now, if you feel uncomfortable around fire and you don't wanna do this part, that's perfectly okay. You don't have to set fires in your kitchen. Always have a fire extinguisher, safety first. But we're okay. We have a fire extinguisher. Everything's gonna be okay. What it's doing now is it's just burning off all the alcohol. I've got my bananas over here. This is pretty cool. This recipe just says let it burn until it burns out. It's almost done. That's cool. There you go. And now we add our bananas. I'm just gonna go in with a heat-proof spatula and just go around. There's our sauce. This looks so good. I'm so excited to try it. Okay. Now we're gonna cut a big piece out of the bread pudding. Let's move it over. Want to move it over there? Yeah. Okay, we have it here. I'm excited. I don't like the butt piece, so I'm gonna skip the butt piece. Nobody come for me because I don't like the end.
She touched the butt.
He touched the butt. Oh my god, it looks so good. Alright, wait, does this piece, where does it belong? Alright. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna turn it upside down, just because that's what they do at Ohana. And I know that because I'm a professional. Now we're gonna take our caramel sauce over here. And I even have some ice cream to top this with. We have some Talenti, not sponsored. We wish. 1 scoop or 2? What should we do?
2 scoops.
2 scoops, all right. Double scoop. 2 scoops. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then we're gonna get a little spoon. We're gonna take this. They usually give this to you like in a little cup and you just pour it over everything. Oh my god. That looks so good. Oh.
And there goes the ice cream.
There goes the ice cream. I'll get 2 spoons because we're gonna definitely try this right now. Let's see. Hopefully it's not gonna like burn our mouth, but I'm too excited to wait. Do you need help, cameraman?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Mmm.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you're missing the Ohana bread pudding, this is definitely it. And if you don't have Ohana breakfast bread hanging around, adding the pineapple and the coconut to it really makes it taste like you're having the actual Ohana breakfast bread. This is so good. I'm gonna leave the recipe below just so anybody can check it out if they want to. Stay tuned, we're gonna do more recipes, we're gonna do more Disney videos. I can't wait. Subscribe if you like what you see. Have a good night.